Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience with my first F-class competition. I was shooting at 600 yards and I was shooting in the F open rifle division. Basically, with my rifle, the cartridge, and the barrel length, and my optic, it kind of put me into F open. So I was competing against some very interesting rifles, but nevertheless, I decided to give it a try. The rifle I'm shooting is my Uintah Precision 6.5 Creedmoor bolt action AR-10 upper, and I'm shooting 147 grain ELD bullets coming out around 2,700 feet a second. So here we're all just kind of getting set up along the firing line. This is my first time doing this, and they decided to put me up first as one of the first shooters to go. There's a good group of people here, and I had a very positive experience with everybody at the range. You can see here's how my rifle was set up for me to actually fire. And as you look around, everybody's helping each other out. There were many new shooters to this. This was the first event of the season, and everybody was more than happy to help each other. It didn't feel like a competition so much as you lay down behind your target and you shoot to see how well you can shoot your own target. At no point did I feel intimidated by anybody else. Here, the gentleman sitting down was experienced in the sport, and he did really well. And here I'm asking him and telling him if I'm messing up, let me know what I'm doing wrong, and I'll happily change it. And he was a great guy. He helped us all out. Basically, it was an experienced person helping out a bunch of new shooters. The guy in the red shirt standing up here is actually the range officer, and he put the whole thing on. So he was running around, help everybody getting their equipment set up. So with this F class, they actually use an electronic target system. Pretty much you sync up your iPad or phone to Wi-Fi, and you're able to see your scores firsthand. So there's nobody down at the targets pulling targets. The entire time people are shooting, they leave one target up because at 600 yards you can't see bullet holes anyway. So here I am just kind of getting settled down behind the rifle. They don't like people to magazine feed, but because my rifle was a bolt action and it was my first event, they kind of gave me a pass. It's definitely best if you can find a bobsled or a single shot feeding rifle. My rifle, it's just very difficult to single feed it with the magazine that locks back when the bolt's empty. So one of the most important things in F-class shooting is watching the wind. They set up two flags along the course, one at 300 yards and one at 600 yards. Pretty much you want the flags to look like they're blowing in the same direction with the same amount of speed at every shot that you take. Of course, this makes it pretty difficult when the wind is never the same. So I will look down the side of my scope with both eyes open. I will watch the flags. As soon as they get close to where I need them to be, I go ahead and chamber around and send it down range as quick as I can without disturbing the shot. Also, I'm checking my bubble level that's on the left side of my scope. I can see that very easily with my left eye. This is the guy who is scoring me. He's got his phone pulled up. He can see my scores as they come, and he's writing it down on an NRA piece of paper. I also have my iPad to the right of me where I can see my scores and adjust for myself for what I see. As we can see here, there's a multitude of different rifles being shot in different classes as well. There was lots of good variety at this shoot, as well as many different experience levels, which is awesome. There's some new beginner guys like me, and then there's some more experienced guys. This is actually footage of my uncle, who actually has not shot a range match in about 8 years or so, I believe he said. But because I was coming out to do this event, he drove up from his hometown, which is a couple hour drive away, and he came up to support me and shoot the match himself, and he did excellent. He shoots a supported sling, and that's a 308 Winchester with a Model 70 action. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is I hold the bolt back because I don't want to cook my round up while I'm waiting on the next shot. I'm waiting on conditions to look good again. I'm checking my level before I chamber the round. I get on target, and then I go ahead and fire the round. Of course, waiting for the wind to look just right, making sure my rifle's level, and trying to be as consistent as possible. But I'm still learning. Here's a little look around at all the different rifles at the range. You will see some very impressive equipment, or even some that look just more like traditional wood-stocked rifles, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I say, it didn't feel much like a competition as it did as just laying down in front of your target and kind of playing your own game, which I think is great. So here are my scores. On my first string, I scored a 185. There are 200 points possible in each string. My second string was 180. I missed a few points there. And my third string was 193 with 5 X's. Here are the target ring sizes to give you an idea. And through the whole competition, I never shot worse than an 8. So that's 60 rounds downrange on an 18-inch target. I really liked everybody at this competition. It was a whole lot of fun. I can't wait to get back and try some more again this summer. I really look forward to it. It was a great time, and I highly suggest anyone else who's interested in it but hasn't done it yet to go out and try it. It was a great group of guys. I learned some things. I talked to some very experienced people, and it was an overall positive experience. Can't wait to get back to do more. That was my first F-class shooting experience. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll talk to you later.